Nityanandam, and good morning. Welcome to Express Buzz, live from Raj Sabha in Bididi Ashram. It is Tuesday, March 6th. We have a group of students from the Gurukul in Bididi Ashram, and they're going to share with us today information and learnings about karma. So, good morning, everyone. And who?
Well, karma's just basically all your unfulfilled desires. Like when you do something, when you're like eating a chocolate and you're avoiding doing it with awareness, then that is karma because you didn't put your full energy into it. You didn't put your full energy into it. It'll stay in you, but it won't stay for too long. So that karma will start trying to do its best to,
So karmas are unfulfilled desires. Like for example, boy is eating a chocolate without any awareness. He just eats, but without being in awareness or experiencing the chocolate's taste. So that's why he again and again wants the chocolate to be eaten by him. But again and again he does it without any awareness. He wants more and more. But if you eat the chocolate with full awareness, that will just leave your system. You will avoid having any more desire for the chocolates. So if you are in full awareness and eating the chocolate, the next time you have zero desire for the chocolate. That's all.
And karma, it's like divided into three parts: sanjita, prarabdha, and agamiya.
Okay, great. So first of all, karma is unfulfilled desire.
Sanjita karmas are your past life. It's like your reserve bank where all your money is stored. Like it's like a big room full of karmas. It's like, for example, like a bank, reserve bank, where you keep all your money, like billions of dollars, inside the bank. And so those are all your stored karmas, which are stored karmas or all your sanjita karmas.
Sanjita karma can be only exhausted by Swamiji. Next is prarabdha.
Okay, so our karmas are unfulfilled desires, and sanchita karma is like a big room full of all our unfulfilled desires, like stored karmas, millions of karmas. And next we have prarabdha karma.
A karma which collected from sanjita is prarabdha karma, which makes you to be in present body.
For example, now you have the sanjita karma, your reserve bank. Now you are getting few lakhs of, or maybe, for example, now you have 1,000 karmas in your sanjita karma. So from that 1,000, now we are deciding to take 10 karmas out of it. So now you are planning, okay, let me create my body and enjoy and exhaust all the karmas in this birth. So you take 10 out of the 1,000 and make this body so that you can enjoy all the karmas and fulfill all the desires. So that is prarabdha, the karmas which are collected from the sanjita to create this present body. So next is agamiya.
Agamiya, for example, when a body lands on planet Earth, instead of fulfilling the past life karmas, we borrow, by seeing others, we borrow some desires and karmas. So Prakash can shortly say that it's a borrowed desire. And as Swamiji said, Agamiya square. Even already the accumulated karmas, and again still you are accumulating. Even though you know that you are accumulating, you never bother. That is Agamiya square. And the Agamiya square goes deep into your biomemory and muscle memory level.
Okay, great. Can you say that last part again? You talked about Agamiya.
So, the Agamiya square, the karmas which you already accumulated, and which you are still accumulating. Even though you know that you are accumulating, you never bother. So this is Agamiya square. This Agamiya square goes deep into your biomemory and muscle memory level.
Okay, great. So we have karmas, which are unfulfilled desires. We have a large store of unfulfilled desires from which to choose from. So all these possible desires that people could possibly have, that could possibly exist, we have this large storehouse. And then we have this opportunity to live in a human body. So it requires that we have certain qualities. So we pick up what we call prarabdha karma and bring those qualities or unfulfilled desires into this body. So once we come here, we run into what we call Agamiya Karma, which is borrowed desires from others or that we, use.
So, once when you land on the planet Earth, you start accumulating desires from others, which is avoiding to be yours. It's borrowed desire. So, a small story. A passenger is traveling to the airport in a cab. So then the driver is driving the car very rough and rude in all the corners and sharp of the roads, and this passenger is getting very terrified. So then the driver just turns back to the terrified passenger and says, avoid getting terrified, just do what I'm doing. He says, just close your eyes whenever I turn at the corners and sharp of the road. So he's telling that he also closes his eyes. When the driver is telling that he also closes his eyes whenever he turns all the sharp corners of the roads. So then the passenger is really exhausted.
Okay, great. So we come into this life with certain desires and certain things that attract us more than other people. And we go through those experiences. And if we have an inner desire for that experience, then that desire can be fulfilled by that experience.
In this story, actually, the driver is not experiencing the experience completely, is unfulfilled. So then, so this becomes an unfulfilled circle for him. So this gets stored in his Sanjita karma. So that's how you start accumulating everything, and that becomes your Agamiya karma, which is the worst desire. Worst karma.
The Sanchita karma. No, Agamiya karma is the worst. Okay, so that means accumulated, or borrowed from others. So we come here with certain desires and say that one of the desires is to have an orange. And so we're presented with an orange. And we eat only half of the orange, then this desire is left unfulfilled. Or if we have that orange and we think, oh, okay, that was very good, let's have another one. That's a borrowed desire.
Actually, that what's being borrowed, actually, that he is avoiding to completely with awareness, he is avoiding to eat it. So that's why he is wanting for another. He wants another one. So that experience of eating that orange has not happened inside him. That's why he wants another one.
Okay, great. So if we eat the one orange with awareness, then that desire will be sort of perfectly burnt away. And will leave us and we can be free of that.
That experience will just leave your system. You will avoid having the second thought for it.
Okay, and then if we think for whatever reason, wow, that tastes really great on the tongue, let's have another one, then we're creating more an unfulfilled desire that was not there. So then if the body was not desiring, or ourselves was not desiring that second orange, then we create a space where we had presented an experience that was not really wanted, and so the desire might have been to just relax and enjoy that the after effects of the first orange, but we introduce something new which is not desired and creates the desire for that extra orange to not be there. So we create something more borrowed from this life, the second orange, which we never wanted in the first place. So there's three ways we can go with our karmas. One is sort of perfectly fulfilling them, and have that desire leave us. One is not entirely fulfilling them and have that desire left to be fulfilled. And the third is putting extra things on top of it that are borrowed, that were not wanted, leaving the desire to get rid of those.
Actually, this karma keeps pulling you again and again to do that action with full awareness and your full effort and full energy. But then, again, you do the same mistake. The once when you are going to do that action or fulfill that karma, you avoid putting the full awareness. But the karma is very intelligent. That will avoid staying with you for a long time. It just keeps pulling you to fulfill it. So that is a great thing about it.
Okay, so what we want to do is act with awareness, and we will know, okay, do I want one more piece of this orange? Has that been enough? Should I stop now?
It's avoiding to be like that. Whatever you do, just do it with awareness. It's avoiding to be, do I want one or do I want two? If you have to, eat two with awareness.
Okay, so acting with awareness. Okay, great. And so the Agamiya squared is when we come into this life and we don't have a certain desire, say for an apple, but we see other people having apples, and so we then decide that, okay, we want an apple, so we've borrowed this desire from other people. And then today I had an apple, so tomorrow I wake up and think, oh, I want another apple. But in the first place, I never wanted any apples at all. That just came from someone else. So the first level of Agamiya is borrowing that first apple today, and the second, this Agamiya squared, is continuing to fulfill that desire and accumulate those karmas of unfulfilled action because we initially allowed the apple to be something that we ate as a desire borrowed from someone else. The first level of Agamiya is we borrow it from what we see in other people, and then this Agamiya squared is we continue fulfilling that desire that we never had.
Actually, one thing about the Agamiya square is, even though that thing or a pattern in you will give suffering, but then too you want it. So that's very bad.
But then what?
See, you know that pattern will give you suffering. But even though you knowing that the pattern will give you suffering, you again do it.
Okay, right. So the apple makes us sick, but we've developed this pattern that other people are eating apples.
Apple will avoid making you sick, by the way.
Okay, so some type of chocolate then. How's that?
Okay.
Okay, great. So soon enough, these Gurukul kids will all have their own news program. As we see, this could go on much longer and we could learn a lot more. So thanks very much for joining us. Nityananda.